I ended up in the Marine Corps. I was actually in college, probably having a little bit too much fun when I got drafted in the Army. And for some unknown reason, I decided that wasn't a very good idea, and I enlisted in the Marine Corps. When I went in the Marine Corps, I had no idea that I'd end up in the infantry, but I did. When I first got to Vietnam, I was actually in a CAP unit, Combined Action Program. I went to Vietnamese language school. CAP units are units that are one squad of Marines working with a platoon of PFs, or Popular Forces, which are farmers by day and soldiers at night. And I was with them from March through July of 1970. And at that time, they started breaking up the CAP unit, sending up some folks home. And because I had so much time left in the country, I then joined 1st Marine Division, 1-1. And I served in 1-1 from July through December when I got hit, and that ended my tour. And I started out just one of the riflemen in the squad, and as each squad leader got hit, you move up. And so then I became squad leader. And so for the latter part of my tour, I was the squad leader in Delta Company, 2nd Platoon. We had an operation where they knew there was a North Vietnamese Army base camp. And the weather was terrible, and we had no helicopters. We literally went up the mountain to go to the base camp instead of being helicoptered in. We took a lot of casualties, a fair amount of casualties going up the hill. When we finally got to the base camp, the North Vietnamese Army had cleared out. They were gone. They had a way of marking trails, hooches, with stakes and tripods, kind of marking some of the booby-trap areas. And we knew the area was still heavily booby-trapped. At that point, myself, machine gun squad leader, the artillery FO, or forward observer, was with us, and 2 engineers went up to scope out an area to see if we could set up a listening post, kind of in an outlying area. And the trail was booby-trapped. It was still marked. And one of the fellows, despite the fact that it was marked, decided to walk down that trail. And he only took about 3 steps when the booby trap went off, and it got all of us. I got hit, the other fellow got hit, the 2 engineers got hit, and of course the lieutenant who stepped on it got hit the most. He did survive, fortunately. We all survived. And then because we were in such a rocky, hilly, mountainous area, actually, we all went up through the floor of a helicopter through a jungle penetrator. And I got medevaced out to the sanctuary, from a sanctuary back to Japan, back to Great Lakes Hospital, and spent some time there. When I came back in 1972, it was out and out hostile. At that point, it was out and out hostile. You didn't tell anybody you were a veteran. You didn't discuss it. You didn't let on. And that's kind of the environment I came back to. One of the things is that I think as you talk to the different guys here, you'll see that a wide variety of educational backgrounds and everything from where we come from, states, but I think there's a really a tight bond amongst these guys. And it's almost like we belong to a club that nobody else understands. And that's why I think these reunions are important. Because we get to share, we get to talk about it, that other stuff just don't get it.